Well, morning, folks. We're back at the ranch today. It is, what is today? Today, March 1st. Pretty sure today's March 1st. It was frosty morning. There's frost all over the houses in Snangelo when we left. But it's supposed to be like 75. It is, I don't know, mid 60s, low 60s this morning. It is. But it is a gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky. Sun shining, keep us warm, and anyway, it's going to be a great day. It's Friday, so we came down early, and just a lot of life going on. Trying to do a lot of Walk to Emmaus and Chrysalis and Kairos stuff right now. If you don't know what those are, I highly recommend researching that. It's really cool stuff. Man, trying to find the adapters to fit this backhoe has been like pulling teeth. Dash 5 JIC is just an oddball size, and everybody says, yeah, no problem, we can do it, but then they can't. They have like one fitting, or they don't have the right adapters or something. So I'm going to try to reuse the old part of those hoses. And then the last time we were here, our metal line that was supposed to just make a loop, when I tried, it was like in a figure 8, and I tried to straighten it up a little bit, and it just broke. So I made a couple of new hoses with a 180 on them, and I'm going to try to get underneath there and get the steering put back together on our backhoe. We need the backhoe to dig out our last post, because when we dug the hole 9 months ago, 8 months ago, whatever it was, it hit a rock and the drill went off to the side, and it's like a full foot, a post hole width in the wrong spot. So we got to cut that out and move it over and get it all set. And then I think if we can get that done, we might start trying to put up some rim joist for our floor, which will be super exciting. But anyway, come along, enjoy. We'll see you then.
What you think, Captain?
Just need a little time, I think.
Okay. You got the wrenches you need?
I think so. I wouldn't drink that if I were you, Axel.
All right. Well, I guess in the meantime, what would be helpful here?
Geez, I don't know.
So, well, as soon as you get this done, is it the next step you want to do is
Go dig that hole
set
out.
those poles?
Yeah.
So we'll need a level over there, and
Axel, no.
and tape measure, and what else? A shovel for getting those front poles set. And I guess all of these braces that are on these poles, they can all come down, right?
I think so, yes,
all
sir.
those 2x4 braces. So pull all that out of the way. So I'll just start prepping all that, getting that all ready to go.
I just gotta hope that I get the right hoses in the right spots here.
Okay.
Got the hoses hooked up. Started to try to turn it. It started to turn, but it ran out of fluid. So I just put fluid in the reservoir. You can hear Kenny over there. He's running the skid steer, trying to clear out around where the house is, where we're going to work on that pole, dig that hole to move that pole over. So I'm going to start it up and drive it over there. The issue is it's always something. As soon as I started it up, I started seeing water leak, and I went around the other side, and sure enough, there is a hole in one of the freeze plugs on the side of the block. So probably a corrosion hole, and this thing's sitting for so many years. So looks like we're going to get to change that. The issue is that it is behind the injection pump. And I could probably get the old one out, but I don't think I can get a new one back in it. So probably gonna have to pull the injection pump off just to change the freeze plug. yay. Just mark everything well when we come apart with it, go right back together. It's going to take 2-3 hours, but I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to try to just keep it topped off with water, and then I'll get some freeze plugs and we'll work on it some other time. But one thing fixed, another thing found broken. That's the way it is. Can't afford brand new stuff, so we just got to work on the older stuff. Let's see if it drives. It's on a stump right now as a jack stand. I'm just going to drive off of it. Need to add some more hydraulic fluid. Kenny's bucket came unattached, but I think it was probably my fault. When we were trying to start it earlier, I was pushing all the buttons trying to make it unlock to start. So anyway. Come on. Come on. Well, sorry, I'm still out of breath. We have been busy boys for the past hour or so. Kenny's been running the skid steer. Jeremy and I have been cutting up this old tree that fell about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. But I knew I needed to cut it up. It's big pecan, and I don't know, what do you think, 36, 38 inches across? But we're gonna do our best. I'm not gonna take the time to try to count these rings right now. I'm gonna take a guess and say it's around 200 years old. Counting fingers, nipples, and toes, I can only count to 23 at a time. So we're gonna wait till another day. But I've got a piece of it laid on the sawmill. It's starting to rot, and I think I would never want to use it for structural, but I think if we can cut it and start letting it dry, that it will make some really pretty boards to maybe do a countertop or a table or something like that. If we can get it coated, stained, and then coated with something to protect it, stabilize it a little bit. But anyway, we've got one that's about 1 foot diameter. We're going to try to take the top off of it just to see what it looks like inside. Just saw it on the other side of the trees. There it is. Oh, that's a big stork or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Certainly not an eagle. Morning, Kenny. What are we doing here?
Oh, getting our belts on.
Yeah, nice tool belt.
We've been wondering, like, why can't we never find any of our tools? So now we're getting ready to go ahead and get our rim joists up. So the first thing we got to do is cross, make sure it's level, mark our notches on these poles, cut them with the chainsaw, lift our first rim joist in place.
I am so freaking excited about that. Jeremy's over there playing with his wood. He's cutting down trees to run on the sawmill to make just stuff, make things. I think we're gonna try to get him to make us a dining room table for the cabin out of some of this old pecan. There's that big pecan tree that we cut, or that had fallen down several years ago, and we just did something with it. So I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome, Kenny.
Woo-hoo!
All right, I'll put the phone down, start helping. Pro tips: when you're running a chainsaw, don't inhale the sawdust. Especially don't snort it first and then let it get stuck to the back of your throat, and then you take a gasping breath and a bunch of it gets stuck to the back of your throat, and then you're on top of a ladder holding a chainsaw while it's running, trying to throw up to get it all out of your mouth. On a level of 1 to 10 on how much it sucked, it was about a 42. So don't recommend. But what we're doing here is, we had a big powwow about it. We've marked off, this is going to be the level of our floor, and then we've cut the poles off 7 inches above that. Our boards are our rim joists are 7.5. Basically an 8-inch board, and then we came in on both end poles. We came in 3 inches this way and made a mark, and 3 inches that way and made a mark. So that we're going to cut those sections off square. We drew a line down the poles, so we have a square line. That's going to allow us, that's going to allow us to set our rim joist, have something firm to set the rim joists on, and then if we need to shim them a little bit to get them level, we can, and then lag bolt through our rim joists into our utility pole. So that's what we're doing now. I've got the rest of them cut. They look like they're pretty well lined up, and don't look too close. I cut like a drunken sailor. Anyway, here we go. Move around to the other side now. Okay. Let's put a board up there and see how bad a job I did. I'm excited. First floor joist up. All right, folks, so Kenny guided me. We got our first board up here, and he guided me up here, so we're like almost touching the middle pole. And now we're gonna try to slide this up, stand it up, and just put a couple of temporary screws in the bottom corner of the utility pole to hold it up there. And I'm super excited. It's our first board for the floor. I'm ecstatic. This is wonderful. So I don't trip and fall and break my neck. Okay, do you have a screw gun handy?
I do not at this point. I have it. Well, I have it right down on the ground here. I just don't have it.
All right, I'm gonna hand it to you.
I kind of feel like we got some maneuvering to do before that. That's why I didn't want to hold on to it. Okay.
Let's stand it up.
Yeah, so we got tricky.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up on.
Woo! Look at our thing. It's balanced. So the problem is when we come off of it, it's gonna like flop back.
Are we up on? You're up on?
I'm up on, but the center three are not up on.
Okay.
They're still being supported by the bucket.
All right. What happens if you put? Can you lift up at all?
Yeah.
What happens?
That pivots.
Oh my goodness. Well, there we weren't prepared for that.
No, we're not.
Straight.
It's pretty freaking straight. It's actually, well, I think because this is holding it up, it's got a little bit of arch in it.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lift it way up. You keep your end from falling off.
Okay.
I'm gonna lift way up and see if that will rotate far enough back.
That it gets out of the way?
Right, and then,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, coming up.
Oh my God.
All right, hang on. Woo!
You're in?
I'm in.
Okay.
It's bowed out. So we got to bow out. But the great thing is now the skid steer's keeping it from coming off.
Okay. The worst idea ever.
Man, this is, we have no idea what we're doing.
Oh man.
Semi-professional amateurs, right?
Is it sitting on that pole?
It's sitting on my pole.
Is it sitting on the other ones?
Nope. I think it's sitting on the one closest to you. Mine is like a 1/4 inch off of it here. Okay. But the thing is holding it.
Yeah. Now this we just need for the head of the bolt and the washer, right? That's all we're trying to go in.
Well, folks, I think we're going to call it a day. I know you got a lot of time lapse. We got a lot of video. And we got a lot done the past 2 days. Let's see, yesterday we got the steering fixed on the backhoe. Found a coolant leak, but it's just a leak. It's not going to stop us from using it. We got our front pole moved over a foot, resettled. Today we yesterday we cleared off that old, I think 200-year-old pecan tree that had fallen. We got it cut up into manageable chunks. One of those trunks of the base was so big the skid steer couldn't pick it up. Kenny was running around trying to pick it up, and the ass end just coming up off the ground. So he just kind of shoved it over there out of the way where we want it to be. You need more lead in your ass, Kenny.
I know, I'm working on it.
But and then last night we cut a little bit of that on the sawmill. This morning we cut a little bit more. Jeremy cut down some mesquite trees and cut those into slabs. He wants to just do some woodworking projects, cutting boards and charcuterie boards. You talk about a good sport. I'm not much of a skier or a snowboarder, but man, that charcuterie boarding, I'm pretty good at that. Some beer, some wine, and cheese. Yeah. Today, let's see, we got, like I said, he cut trees and I helped him a little bit on the sawmill, but we got all of our poles around the outside edge of the house area cut to height. We went with 7 foot 6 inches underneath, so there'll be 7 foot 6 inches of clearance to drive underneath it. And then we went 7 inches over that and cut the tops of our poles off. We got, if you look back there in the back, you can see we got one of the main rim joists up, 4x8 rim joists, and we have run a string with a level on it all the way around that, notched all of those poles around for our boards to fit in. We have decided on letting those boards come all the way out to the porch poles here, the big 4 poles, but we're going to let them droop 3/4 of an inch, which it's going to be covered and we probably don't need it, but just in case there's any rain that gets up in there, it'll have a little bit of a slope to let all the water run out the end of the porch. We really thought about putting another board up today since we've got it all cut, but we're just worn out and we're afraid we're going to make a mistake. These boards are really heavy, and especially when they're 7 or 8 foot in the air, they become really dangerous. So we've decided that we are going to wait till next time before we do that, so we are fresh and hopefully less likely to make a mistake. But it is a beautiful day. It's March 2nd. It's like, I don't know, 80, 85 degrees. Well, there's clouds in the sky, but it is a beautiful sunny day. Fish are jumping. Some young men were out here paddling or canoeing, whatever you want to call it, earlier. Not canoes, paddle boards. But, saw a bald eagle yesterday. I wish I could have gotten that on video or some pictures of him flying. He was beautiful, or she. It was beautiful. We're doing a thing at my church, Celebration Church, where Pastor Brandon challenged us to set our phones to go off every hour. So we've had lots of breaks, and we just pray about whatever's going on in our lives, whatever we're doing, whatever we're thinking about at that moment. And you end up praying about some weird things, but praying that you don't throw your chainsaw in the lake when it won't start might have helped me not throw it in the lake when it wouldn't start. But anyway, it's been an awesome day. Hope you enjoyed watching us be idiots. I didn't kill Kenny, so that's good.
Still alive.
Still alive. But y'all do the same thing. Y'all set your alarm to go off every hour, and even if you don't do it for 35 days, even if you just do it for a few days, it's very interesting to see what you pray about throughout the day.
But we're gonna clean up, go home, go see my wife, try to recoup for tomorrow. Getting out of bed this morning was a little tough. Getting old and fat and lazy and not used to working like this. But, man, it was an awesome day, awesome weekend. Y'all take care. We'll see you next time.